What is going on, Steelers fans? Today we're going to break down the tape of defensive tackle Derrick Harmon and get into what this guy flashed on tape in his first two preseason games. 59 total snaps by the rookie defensive tackle. I'm not going to lie to you guys, this guy has a ton of upside. The little things that this guy does on tape is really impressive. And I think for the Steelers, you get a guy that has massive potential. And you watch him on some of these plays, going up against the starting offensive lineman of the Buccaneers. On this one here is the first play that this guy's in the game. Going up against Cody Mock, the starting guard of the Buccaneers. Look at what Harmon does on this one. He's going to stand this guy up. He's going to control a starting caliber guard. That's going to force this running back to have to bend it back towards the inside. This is a really good job right here to be able to gain control of the guard. Keeps that outside arm free, sets the edge. He basically forces the running back to have to run this back towards the inside. And this one actually ends up losing a yard. Phenomenal job right there by the defensive tackle to be able to shut this play down. But truth be told, there's a lot of these type of plays. And I'm really excited to get into Harmon. Let's go ahead and jump into the next snap. Alright guys, check this next run rep out. You're going to get what looks like inside zone to me. And once again, Harmon's going to do a phenomenal job. Now, he's not going to make the play, and he's not going to get credit for any sort of tackle. But if you guys keep an eye here on the left guard, left tackle, they're going to double team Harmon, and their job is to get up to number 41, the inside linebacker. So you're going to step over here, you're going to essentially double team this guy, and the goal is for one of these guys to be able to pick off number 41. But keep an eye here on Harmon. He's going to end up grabbing onto both of those guys, and he's going to hold the double team block. Left hand lands on one of those guys you see right there. Right hand lands on the other guy. He holds the block, and 41 because of that goes free. Now, of course, Bucky Irving already gets hit in the backfield by the other linebacker. Number 55 ends up doing a really good job just kind of jumping right through the gap here. Phenomenal job by 55 here. But if 55 does not make this play, if he doesn't jump the gap the way he does and get to the running back first, 41 goes unblocked as well, right? He's essentially free. And that's because of the defensive tackle. Now, 55 is also free, but 55 is free because the center is going to double team on the two-eye technique defensive tackle, and the center ends up not being able to get back to 55, right? 55 jumps the gap. So the same thing is not happening here by this D tackle as it is happening over here, right? This guy's holding two guys. This defensive tackle is going to hold the guard, and the center is just slow to get to number 55. So again, I just want to kind of point that out because I think Harmon does a phenomenal job on this one, the way he's able to hold those two guys. No stats for Harmon, but he definitely does do his job on this one. Check this next play out. This is going to be a coaching point for both Harmon and Keanu Benton. They're going to basically run right into each other on this defensive line game. Not a huge deal. This is 3rd and 15. But you can tell they kind of run right into each other. So that's just a coaching point. I think Harmon's probably the guy that has to do a little bit of a better job. Not a huge deal. Just kind of wanted to point that one out. To me, what I see from Harmon, especially against the run, is impressive. Harmon does a really good job against the run, and you can definitely see that on this guy's tape. Now, here's another really nice play by Harmon. He doesn't actually get to the quarterback on this one, but I just wanted to kind of point something out with his tape that I'm noticing. As a pass rusher, he definitely has some movement in his game, and he knows how to set up the pass rush. And I'm not surprised because we saw this at Oregon in that 1 year he was there, but you're seeing it in the NFL here as well. Notice how Harmon's going to get out of his stance, and he's going to first kind of start towards the left here. He's going to start towards the left, and then he's going to come back to the right. And when he comes to the right, he's going to swipe with the right arm, he's going to rip with the left arm. That right there is how you effectively pass rush. Now on this play here, he gets double teamed by the center and left guard, so he's not going to actually get to the quarterback. But that's how you set up a pass rush, and you guys will see kind of what I mean as we go forward in the course of this video. And as we kind of get into some more pass rushing situations. But this right here shows me that Harmon understands how to properly pass rush. And I point this play out because it's very important to understand that as a pass rusher, it's all in the movement, it's all in the technique. You see it on plays, even when he's not making the play, that as a pass rusher, kind of understands how to rush the passer. Here's another play as an example. He's obviously going to end up having to wide rush this because the linebacker here is going to drop off in coverage. But keep an eye on Harmon here. Watch how he's going to attack the starting right tackle of the Buccaneers. He's going to end up swimming right over the top of this guy. Now, again, he does get double teamed, so he's not going to actually get to the quarterback. He's not going to get a sack. But do recognize that these little things he's doing is going to actually translate into a good football player. Here's another example of him utilizing a little bit of pass rush technique. He is once again going to get double teamed. He's going to spin off of, I believe it's the left tackle here. So you can expect that at some point down the line when this guy's single teamed, Not only will you see him swim, but you'll also see him spin. You'll see him swipe and rip. And those are pass rush moves that are actually going to end up working out for Harmon. And now here's the 11-yard sack. Harmon's going to have a true one-on-one based off of how the defensive line is kind of lined up. And he's going to just go right through the left guard on this one and just straight to the quarterback. That is a phenomenal bull rush. Now this is 3rd and 8. And do understand, the Steelers are going to essentially have 5 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. And then also understand, you're putting both defensive tackles to the right side of the center. And what that means is the second defensive tackle is going to have a one-on-one with the guard. That's exactly what happens on this one. You're essentially isolating Harmon in that left guard, and you're telling Harmon go kick his ass. That's exactly what the rookie defensive tackle does on this one. He goes right through him, straight up bull rushes this guy and gets to the quarterback. I mean, look at the power, the physicality of this one here. I mean, the hand placement's perfect, the extension's perfect, the bull rush is perfect. That's a phenomenal job right there by Derrick Harmon. Now, I want to continue to show you guys some of these different snaps that he had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will also show you guys just a couple snaps from the Jags game, but look at him just straight up stand this offensive lineman up. Harmon's lined up in the 3 technique, so he has to stay within that B gap as his run fit. I mean, look at the punch, look at the hands, look at the extension. Phenomenal job by Harmon. That's how you gain control of a defensive lineman. And as soon as the running back shows that he's bending this to the outside, you got to throw your guy. You got to shed him. You got to get off the block and detach from this guy. And that's exactly what he does. And he blows this one up for a loss of a yard. Now, here's another solid rep by Harmon. He's going to control the tackle, but he's not going to end up making the play on this one. This one's kind of an interesting play because the run is a power run towards the right. And the offensive lineman here is going to do what is called the back block, which means the play is actually designed to go to the right. But the running back ends up hitting this back towards the left. Now, Harmon has to make this play, truth be told, but Harmon is also probably trying to play this over the top. Right? If this is a design play towards the right, he's probably looking to get over the top and chase this play from the backside. Not a huge deal. He still does do a nice job controlling the offensive lineman. And at this point, I think for Harmon, all he really has to do is just take more reps, mentally kind of get caught up with the NFL speed, understand what offensive linemen are trying to do, the various run schemes, the Shanahans, the McDaniels, and kind of just recognize how they might be different. And I do think Harmon's going to end up becoming a really, really good defensive tackle as he continues to develop. Now, I do want to just show you guys a couple more snaps from that very first game, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars game. Harmon had a couple of nice snaps. And again, I just want to kind of talk about some of these different things. Earlier I mentioned the defensive line game wasn't great, right? You saw Keanu Benton and Harmon kind of run into one another. This one, he's going to do a much better job. He's going to actually end up going first. He's going to actually end up hitting the center, and the swap is not really that effective, right? He does a really nice job being able to not only take that guard, as you kind of see here, he's going to take that guard. He's going to pull this guard here, right? Really nice rip move, kind of hooks it in almost, takes this guy right into number 73. And you can tell he's definitely holding this guy. So that's a really, really good job right there. That's probably some sort of coaching point that he's picked up at this point. Really nice job being able to rip, hold on to that guy, go into the center, free up Keanu Benton on this one. Although it is not a sack, the defense does get off the football field on 3rd down. You got another snap here. Once again, just the control against the run. Really, really, really nice. And then not only just the control aspect, but to shed and get off the block. It's impressive as hell in my opinion. Harmon really does do a great job against the run. And truth be told, as a run defender, this guy's really good, but the pass rush technique and the pass rush upside he has, I think is through the roof as well. The Steelers obviously already have a really good defensive line. I think Harmon's going to just continue to add to that, and they're going to just continue to get better. Overall, really, really like what this guy has shown us up to this point. We are obviously covering the Pittsburgh Steelers on this channel, so if this is the first time you guys are on this channel, do consider subscribing, because we're definitely going to continue to cover the Steelers. Let me know if there's any player you guys want to watch specifically. Obviously, Derrick Harmon will be a guy that will kind of continue to follow, as well as both Broderick Jones, Troy Fatano. Those are two guys that will regularly kind of check in. Expect weekly Steelers content this season. So I know last season we didn't get to the Steelers every single week, but this year we definitely will. So again, let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.